When you were young and on your own, how did you feel to be alone? I was always thinking of games I was playing, trying to make the best of my time. But only love can break your heart. Try to be sure from the start. Yes, only love can break your heart. What if your world should fall apart? I have a friend I've ever seen. He hides his head inside a dream. Someone should call him and see if he can come out. Try to lose a down that he's found. But only love can break your heart. Try to be sure from the start. Yes, only love can break your heart. What if your world should fall apart? I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. Yes, only love can break your heart. Yes, only love can break your heart. Yes, only love can break your heart. Well, hi there, pluckers. Ivor Sawfingers again with you with hopefully another interesting lesson. Classic song from Neil Young, Only Love Can Break Your Heart. Standard tuning, but I do have a capo on the 2nd fret. This puts us into the same key that Neil Young recorded the song in. Okay, so chords in the song not particularly tricky. Okay, it's fairly slow, so you shouldn't have too much problem with this one. Okay, so let's get to it. So the intro, which is also the covers for the first part of the verses as well, is this iconic intro. Okay, so there we have it. So it's fairly straightforward. It starts off with a G7 chord. Okay, straightforward G7. Make sure it is a G7. First finger, top E string, 1st fret. 3 nice strong strums, downstrokes. Then we play a C chord. Now you can play straightforward standard C, or you can play C with G in the bass. I play a lot. This 3rd finger goes up from the C chord. Normal standard C goes, take your 3rd finger, put it on the bottom E string on the 3rd fret. Pinky takes over on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, the A string. Then you can play all 6 strings. But if you know, whichever one suits you best or you like the sound of, standard C or C with G in the bass. Okay? So 3 strokes on the G7 and 1 stroke on the C. Okay, so minute pause, and then you play C, single strum on a C sus2, and that all you have to do for that is whichever C chord you're playing, that one or that one, just lift up your 2nd finger from the 4th string, leave the 4th string open, and then do a single strum. Okay, so that way, or if you're playing the C with G in the bass, just lift that 2nd finger up. Okay, that's it. So well, so far we've got this. Okay, so single stroke on the C, and then little minute gap, and then lift that 2nd finger up, strum it again, and immediately afterwards play the F chord. The F chord you can either play a simple F, an F, four-fingered F like I generally play. This third finger from a simple F goes up to the 5th string, 3rd fret. Pinky takes over on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 5 down to 1. Or you could in fact play a bar chord if you so wish, but it's up to you. Whichever F you like best or you like the sound of. So simple F, four-fingered F, or a bar chord F. Okay. So far we've got got that, and then you go again there's a little pause, and then you play F to G. So now you've got just a quick that on the end. That G or that G, whichever G you like to play. I tend to use this one most of the time. And then basically you just repeat everything. You go back to the G7th and do that again. So the whole intro is 2 lots of that. Okay, so right, now comes the singing, and for the first 2 lines it's the same as the intro. Just repeat the whole intro. Okay, so it goes, when you were young and on your own, how did it feel to be alone? Got that? Then you go do the G7th again. No singing on it this time. So far, let's get that far, right from the beginning. Singing. How did it feel to be alone? Okay, that's as far as we've got. So you do those 3 G7ths again at the end of those 2 lines. And this time you go to a C major 7, where it goes, I was always thinking of games I was playing. So that's C major 7th to F. Okay, now C major 7th, if you're playing the 4-fingered C, you just remove the 1st finger. Leave 2nd string open, you've got a C major 7. If you're playing a simple C, exactly the same, you take the 1st finger off. Just those 2, and you've got a 5 down to 1, a C major 7. So that comes in on, I was only thinking of, then whichever F you want to play, simple F, 4-fingered F, okay? Games I was playing, back to the C major 7th, trying to make the best of my F time. A couple of beats on that time, and then we do the G7th again, and we're going into the chorus. But only, okay? So the whole thing up to that point, okay? The whole intro and first verse. Because the verses all play the same, and the choruses as well, okay? So once you've got a chorus and a verse under your belt, you can basically do the whole song. Okay, so here we go. When you were young and on your own, how did it feel to be alone? I was always thinking of games I was playing, trying to make the best of my time, but only, that's as far as we've got, yeah? So 3 strokes on the G7th as usual, and but only. Now we're going to play an F major 7. Okay, so that's simple. All you need to do is simple F, lift up the bar from the top 2 strings, just lift the bar up, so you're only playing the 2nd string on the 1st fret with that 1st finger. Top E string open, 5th string open, so you go, but only love can break you. I would you can play the 5th string open. If you're only playing this shape of F major 7th, I would strum it 4 downwards just the top 4 strings, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. If you hit the A string, it doesn't. It's in tune, but it doesn't make it sound quite right. If you want to play all 5 strings, which is what I do, again, like you do with the F, you make it a 4-fingered job. You put the 3rd finger up to the 3rd fret on the 5th string, pinky taking over on the 3rd fret on the 4th string. Don't play the bottom E string, and lift up the bar. Top string open. Okay, 5 down to 1 now. Okay, so it's a 4-fingered F major 7. Okay, so it goes going into the chorus, but only F major 7th, love can break your heart. Now heart is, I'll give you a couple of options on heart. You can play a string, you just play an E minor. You can go, but only love can break your heart. Or to make it sound, I think, a little bit more like a record, add your pinky to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the B string. Okay? And hit all 6 strings, E minor 7th. E minor or E minor 7th, whichever to you sounds best, or you like playing, you know, you find it, you think it sounds best one way or the other. Make your own, I think it's E minor 7th, sounds better. But if you like E minor better, play E minor. Okay, so but only love, F major 7th, E minor or E minor 7th. Try to be sure is a D minor 7th. Okay, so you've got F major 7th, E minor 7th, and then we go to D minor 7th, which is like an F chord with leave the 3rd finger off. Open 4th string, open 5th string, open 4th string, 2nd on the 3rd, and then barring the first 2 strings on the 1st fret. It's like an F without the 3rd finger. 5 down to 1 or 4 down to 1, whichever you like. 4 down to or 5. It doesn't make a lot of difference, okay? Don't play the bottom E string, okay? So far, only love can break your heart. Try to be sure right from the G. Start straightforward G, okay? Then we play the G7th again. Yes, only, and you just repeat the whole thing. Love can break F major 7th to E minor 7th or E minor. What if your D minor 7th? Well, should fall at G part. Then you do the intro again. Then you go into another verse, which is exactly the same to play as the first verse, okay? But, sorry. I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. C major 7, someone should call him F and see if he can come out. C major 7, try to lose the down that he's F found. G7, but only chorus. Love, F major 7, can break E minor or E minor 7th. Try to D minor 7th, sure, right from G star. G7th, yes, only F major 7th. Love, can break E minor 7th or E minor. What if your D minor 7th could fall apart? Now we do the intro again. Now we do G7 when we do the outro, which is basically the whole chorus, the normal chords for the verse again. I have a friend I've never seen. Just the G7, I have a C, friend, C sus2, take that 2nd finger up, F to G. And you just repeat that line several more times, okay? So, I have a friend I've never seen. He hides his head inside a dream. Yes, only love can your heart. Yes, only love can break your heart. And that just fades out. It just keeps doing that and fades out on the record. Okay, so what I did was just do that 2 or 3 times. Yes, only love can break your heart. So G7, yes, only C, C sus 2, F, your heart. Do that 2 or 3 times. Yes, only love can break your heart. G7 3 times, slow down. C, finish. Okay, so there you have it, boys and girls. My take on Only Love Will Break Your Heart by Neil Young. Hopefully it all makes sense to you. Nice, fairly easy song. Nice and slow. Shouldn't give you too much trouble. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.